Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin, and for today's video, we are going to be doing a reading vlog. I had another reading vlog planned, but I decided that I just want to do like a read with me for the week, or what do you call it, like a realistic what I read in a week. I feel like this week is probably going to be the most tame week I'm gonna have for the semester because classes start on Wednesday and I'm starting this video on Monday. And then once the semester gets going, things are gonna get more crazy. But if all goes well, I might do these videos like once a month to kind of see how the weeks differ from each other when I'm like in the thick of the semester versus when I'm just not. So we're gonna start this video starting it on Monday. At the beginning of every single day, I'm going to tell you the page number that I start with, and then I'm going to tell you the page number that I end with, and at the end of the video, we're going to count all of those numbers together. We're gonna take the sum of those numbers, and then we're gonna get the total pages read that I read for the week. That's the plan. I started reading a book last night on my Kindle. I started reading Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer, and was not very familiar with what this book was about. I just knew that it was a fairly quick read, although I come to find out the book is 417 pages, so I don't know where I thought it was going to be a fairly quick read. It's a hockey romance, which, you know, I love those. There's no third act breakup, allegedly. However, I am like 4 chapters in and I don't love it. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. And I feel like my expectations have been lowered. So the setup, let me set this book up for you guys. We have this hockey star, kind of. It doesn't seem like he's like a big hockey star, but like he's decent. And then we have this girl who is going to be his assistant. She has known of this man since like high school, I think. She had a huge crush on him, and she becomes his assistant because he just got too many things going on, and he's kind of like rude to her, or not rude, but just kind of cold to her in their first meeting. And then she's like, oh my gosh, you know, he's just like he was in high school, like a jock. He doesn't even know who I am, da da da. Come to find out, like when we get his point of view, he knows exactly who she is. He is like obsessed with her. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's her, da da da. Which is fine, but I just feel like the way this book is being written is weird to me. Like, I feel like it's very like, this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening. Like, I'm not very immersed into this world, into the story, into these characters. It's very much like point A, point B, point C, point, like, it's just kind of like very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's just kind of surface level. And obviously, like, it's 417 pages, so I'm assuming we're gonna get more into like the characters and their stories, and the plot's gonna, you know, move along. But right now I'm kind of like, I don't know. And like, they're already, I know this is a spicy book too, but they're already thinking about like lusting after each other already, and already like daydreaming things and making comments in their heads. And I'm just like, we are not even 50 pages in. Like, you need to relax. Like, we will have enough time for that. Let's like see if this man even will even talk to you first. Like, let's see if she even likes you before you start having these very inappropriate thoughts. It's odd. That's what I'm reading right now. Let me check to see the page number that I am starting with. I'm on chapter 6, and I am on page number 37. Chapter 6, page 37. So that's what we're starting with today. I'm not going to read right now because I have to go to a meeting, and then I have another meeting after that meeting. But I'll probably do some reading later tonight, and then I'm going to do more reading tomorrow, and then Wednesday school starts. So you guys get to come along with me for the semester as well. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Okay, see you guys later. Bye. Okay, so it is towards the end of the night. It's actually 1 o'clock right now in the morning, and I think I'm done reading for the day. I've been having a very interesting time with this book. I genuinely feel like I don't know what I'm reading. It's just such an awkward read. So we have our 2 main characters. I think her name's Pippa or Pipa. I think I'm gonna go with Pippa, and then Jamie. Jamie is a very interesting male character because he is very cold. He doesn't really seem to have much of a personality, in my opinion. He's very short with her. There's really not much going on with him, but like the author is really trying to make me believe that there's more to these characters than like what we're reading on the page. We go from one point to another point to another point to another point, but we're not really seeing how all of these points are connected. So it's very choppy, not consistent, and the flow is just not there. This could be a really good book if it was just tweaked a little bit, if the characters were just a little bit more fleshed out, and if the writing was just a bit more immersive and just more compelling to read. And like, I understand that like it's a romance, and sometimes, you know, romance doesn't need to be super compelling or immersive per se. like just keep it cute and fun. Like I get it, I'm all for vibes, but it's just not working. Like nothing is working. But I'm going to continue reading this book. I almost thought about DNFing it when I was like 70 pages in because I was like, there's no way that I can continue reading this book. Like there's just absolutely no way. But I stopped on page 137, so I started today on page 37, I believe, and I stopped at page 137, so I read a total of 100 pages. So it's very funny that it's a very even number, which I don't think is super bad. I probably could continue reading, but it's already 1 a.m. I'm tired, and honestly, this book isn't really doing much for me. Another thing that I think I mentioned in my previous update was I said how they are very sexually charged towards each other, like really early on. Every other sentence, it's like very explicit imagery of what they wish they were doing with the other person, and it's just so oddly placed that I'm just scratching my head, and it's like kind of aggressive. Their thoughts, they just had their first kiss and it was interesting. I'm holding on to hope. I'm interested. Like I'm still interested enough to want to continue reading the book. I'm just questioning everything. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this book up tomorrow. Hopefully I can do more reading tomorrow. Hopefully I have more positive things to say. Pretty good. Good morning. It is the next day. It is finally Wednesday, the first day of school. It is 8 a.m. right now. I'm eating breakfast and then we are gonna head to campus, but I do want to give you guys an update of what I read yesterday. So I stopped yesterday at page 213 and I stopped on page 220, chapter 39, and I'm 53% done with this book. So I read a total of 83 pages yesterday, which is pretty good. Today I have a pretty big gap in between classes and work, so I might get some reading done this afternoon. I would love to finish this book today. I'm tired of reading this book. It's just interesting, these characters and their dynamic. I do not think they have any chemistry together. The author is just telling us a bunch of stuff, but we're not being shown anything. The characters are having like their inner monologues and they're being like, I have these very strong emotions towards this person. And I'm just like, I don't know how you can have this strong emotion. You guys don't talk to each other. Like you guys have no base of relationship other than you both went to the same high school and you had a crush on each other in high school. It's been 8 years since high school, babes. Things change. Pippa, her ex-boyfriend, couldn't get her to the end. Now she thinks her body is broken because she could never have a pleasurable experience with her boyfriend, and Jamie has come to her rescue and apparently now might be teaching her how to get there. It's enjoyable enough to the point where it's like, I'm not going to DNF it. At this point, it's like, I need to see it through. Like, I need to see how this book is going to end. I'm going to eat my lovely breakfast, and then I'm going to head to campus and have my first day. I have 2 classes today, and then I have work tomorrow and Friday. I don't have anything scheduled, I don't think. Next week is like a full week of work, classes, practicum, all the 9 yards. So it's going to be a pretty jam-packed week and more of like, I guess like more of a realistic week in my life. So I will see you guys when I have a reading update. I have tried filming this update like 4 times, and if that is not an example of just how, or if that's not a reflection of how this week has gone for me, I don't know what is. I started school yesterday and my life is in shambles right now. School started literally yesterday and I'm already falling apart. So that's a great start to the semester. Anyways, I have an update for Behind the Net. I finished it today. It is 4:34 right now and I finished it around 2 o'clock? No, 12 o'clock? I think, today. Today's Thursday, by the way. So yesterday I read from page 220 to 332, so that's a total of 112 pages. And then today I finished and read 76 pages. The book technically is 419 pages, but I put my stop at 408 pages because there's an excerpt at the end of the book that I think is what the extra pages are for, and I did not read that because once I was done with the epilogue, I was over it. I was done with this book. I was like, I don't need to read anything else. I'm done. I ended up giving this book 2 stars. I feel like 1 star is a bit too harsh because I do think the second half of this book was a bit better than the first half of this book. Once the characters realized that they both had feelings for each other and they might want to try something out with each other, Jamie specifically got a bit more tolerable. Like in the beginning, he was such a rude person and so cold and very possessive very early on, but like it wasn't making sense. Like nothing about this book made sense to me. Things would happen that we would just be told happened, but we never saw it happen. And it's like, I feel like this is important for us to have seen happen and to see how the characters responded to this. This book is over 400 pages and nothing significant happened that convinced me. It didn't even have to be significant. Nothing happened that convinced me that these 2 characters, Jamie and Pip, however you say her name, should be together. There's really no other connection that they have, and it's so funny because they try to convince us that there's more to their relationship than just like the lust aspect and like the physical aspect. Like they'll say a sentence that's super inappropriate, very random about like wanting each other, and then right after it they'll be like, but it's not just about sex. And I'm like, yes it is. It's literally, that's all this is about. You guys have nothing else but this going on for you. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Behind the Net. I think I'm done reading romance for the rest of August. Like, I don't think I can read another romance book. This month has not been a good reading month for me. I have given books 3 stars and now 2 stars, and I'm like, we need to do something different. So I'm gonna pick my next book, which I'm gonna start today because I'm still in a reading mood. I'm very surprised Behind the Net did not put me in a reading slump, but the fact that I think I just wanted to finish that book so fast, I was like, I need to finish it so I can read something else. I'm so stubborn that I was like, I'm gonna finish it. Even if I don't like it, I need to finish it because I need to see if this is going to end better than it started. And it did, but not by far. So this is my lovely bookshelf. If you haven't seen my bookshelf tour, make sure to go watch that because I love that video. And this was really fun, putting all these books in my bookshelf. And I think waking up every single day and looking at them makes me really happy. I need to decide what I want to read next. I have lots of options, okay? I could read Abby Jimenez. I could read Happy Place, which I have been saying I am going to read for a very, very long time. What else am I in the mood to read? I want to read The 7-Year Slip so bad, but I'm saving this for later in September to read for a video. And then I have these books. I do want to read Mame. Disorientation, I really know I want to read. And then I have these down here. But I haven't read a fantasy. Isn't it crazy? I have not read a fantasy since Bloodmarked, and that was in March. And that was the first book I read this year. But I'm not feeling fantasy right now. I think I'm going to finally pick up Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I think this is going to be my next read because I have been saying I'm going to be reading this for a really long time, and I feel like I need something with really good writing, and I feel like this book is going to deliver that. So I'm going to read Yellowface. I'm going to start it today. I will give you guys like a read count and like an update once I start. Hello. It is now Saturday. I didn't vlog yesterday on Friday because it was not a great day. I had a great night. The night was better than the day and I didn't get any reading done, but on Thursday I did start Yellowface and I only read the first chapter, so I only read 22 pages. I have good feelings about this book. Like I said, I have really high expectations just because this book has been literally raved about for so long, literally since it came out. We have 2 best friends, or I don't know if they're best friends, I guess just like 2 really close friends. They're both in the publishing industry, both authors. One is an Asian American woman and one is a white woman, and right off the bat you know that the Asian American woman passes away, and it's so interesting because the way she passes It's not funny, but I definitely think it sets the tone for how this book is going to go. You know very early on that the white woman is jealous of the Asian American woman and jealous of her success. So after her friend passes away, she steals her unpublished novel and publishes it as her own. And this is a really interesting story as well because it is told in the white woman's perspective, I believe, the whole time. And we are already getting some very, you know, just like some like low-key racism, and it's just so interesting reading from like the white woman's perspective because it's like we know, but to read from it is just very interesting. I think I'm gonna like it, so that's what I'm going to read probably this weekend. But I wanted to close out the vlog, but before I close out the vlog, I do want to do an update of how many pages I read. This week was definitely a very interesting week. School started back this week and I don't know. I just feel like I was mentally prepared, but I don't think I was like, no, I feel like I was physically prepared. Like I had all of my like organization stuff down and like I knew my systems and everything, but I feel like mentally I was not prepared and like my sleep schedule is so bad and there was just a lot of uncertainty going into this semester and I'm still kind of not feeling great about everything, but it's okay. But we're gonna do a total reading count of pages read this week. So Monday we read 100 pages, Tuesday we read 83 pages, Wednesday we read 112 pages, Thursday we read 76 pages plus 22 pages from Yellowface, and then Friday we didn't read anything. So my calculations are correct. I read a total of 393 pages this week and I'm really proud of myself. I was kind of getting harsh with me. What? That's not a sentence. I was being hard on myself about not reading enough. I don't know why, but that's the point of this video. It's a realistic what I read in a week, and I definitely do think that this week is probably going to be the week that I might read the most. I don't know. This semester is definitely going to be a doozy. Lots of change happening and I'm in my second year, so it's gonna be a lot. But I am gonna make sure that I prioritize reading, and I think doing videos like these and challenges like these where I'm kind of just like tracking what I'm reading kind of keeps me accountable, because it's like, okay, well, if I can be on my phone for 4 hours a day, I can use 2 of those hours to read a little bit, you know, because reading is important to me and I always feel better when I'm reading books, whether that's 1 book a week, 1 book a month, whatever it is, just constantly reading. I want to make time for. But that's the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more book content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!